Hey, this is Vicious Rabbit Gaming. I'm in. Today we're going to be going over the auto bolt rifle. Or, more specifically, this is a Mark II call pattern bolt rifle that has a high capacity drum, rotary magazine, and a increased rate of fire at the cost of ranged ability. So, let's get into it on this weapon. What I kind of like about it, what I don't. One, magazine capacity. It's awesome. Unrealistically awesome. There is no way this drum is holding 45 rounds at a time. There's some space magic going on right there, because that is not 45 bolts. No chance. Where would they put the spring? I don't get how it works. But I can tell you, is it super satisfying?
Rearming.
As you can see. So, what do I like about this weapon? Fire rate's good. It's really good when you're dealing with a lot of enemies. You can just lay down suppressive fire in a general direction. Small enemies, pops their heads like crazy. Absolutely love it. What I don't like about it, you cannot, it's very bad at anything beyond like 50 meters of engagement. I mean, it's okay, but unless you mix it with some of the other tactical perks to give you instant headshots with Auspex, not as good. Speaking of perks, let's go get into that. Alright, so perks, it's fairly simple. I went full bottom tree. More ammo. This thing choose through ammo. I want more ammo, but we can go through more at a time, kind of give an explainer. Alright, so first one, white. Maximum spread decreased by 50% when just firing without aiming. I personally always aim, so I didn't pick this one. I went for more magazine size, less reloads overall. So this one, enemies at a distance less than 15 meters, you get them with, I mean, that's good. Honestly, I would pick that one if I didn't like the more ammo better, and it's on the wrong side of the tree, and I can't justify taking this one when I can take this one. But I can justify not taking this one to get this one. Perpetual penetration, each shot penetrates an additional target. Now, it has a piercing of 2, that turns it into a piercing of 3. You can then stack that with other perks that the tactical has to make that a piercing of 4. So that you're going through four targets. Reloading faster, you can go that route. I personally didn't, because I like these ones over here. More damage against scary stuff. After killing 7 enemies, and this recently just kind of got buffed with the 7 enemies instead of 10, you deal 25% more damage. I don't really know how it's going to go because I haven't messed with it since it's been buffed, but this seems like a really good buff on this perk. And then more ammo. Now, I have one more perk that I can throw into this weapon system once I get to the end of Relic. What I'm probably going to do is headshots deal 25% more after killing a Majoris, or the reload. I'm really not sure, but I'm leaning towards this one. The reload might be what I go with, just a flat damage. I can reload this weapon 10% faster. So as far as perks that are relevant for this weapon system, you can do the Kraken penetrator rounds. That's viable in my opinion. You know, it allows you to cleave through those hordes. You can also do balanced distribution and just buff this weapon by 10%, especially now that you can take the heavy bolt pistol with every class. You can lose 10% damage on the heavy bolt pistol and still be plenty good and make your primary deal that 10% damage. So this one, the Emperor's Vengeance, killing Majoris level or higher enemy, you get ammo back. It's good. I would definitely take it for this weapon system. Range damage increase is also super good for this. You can do transhuman physiology. It's a decent trade-off in my opinion. But for this weapon, to get everything out of it, I would say the range damage increase is good. Recoil reduction, I mean the 10% against extremists is good, but recoil reduction is, I've never understood the need for that at all on any of these weapons. And then obviously Marked for Death, it's a game changer. I don't know why you would take the other ones when you can take this one. This one is just absolutely nuts. And then I am running Acuity as far as prestige perks right now because it's prestige 1, which just consecutive headshots buff my headshot damage. That's useful when you run up on a Majoris and you want to light into his face with a full auto weapon. As far as the loadout, I'm running with this, per viewer request. So I'm running a heavy bolt pistol. This is my favorite sidearm in the game. I run it with almost everything. And I'm also going to run a fencing chainsword. I had it set to combat knife just because I was messing around the other day. But heavy bolt pistol, and I'm going to run the fencing chainsword just because a couple patches ago they changed the whole system for getting parries, and I'm bad at it. So that's the loadout we're going to run. It's kind of a rundown on the perks of the weapon and perks that I think interact with the weapon well for the tactical perk tree. And let's get into it. Show you some gameplay. For full transparency, I will be running on randoms, or with randoms on ruthless difficulty, so I actually have a moment to think and talk. Alright, so this is a mid-range, this is a mid to close range weapon system, but more close range than mid-range. You're going to want to get right up into their faces and lay down fire.
Pathetic tyranny. You would make a fine chap. I can imagine no finer purpose than keeping the heart.
Get in their face, get them down to execute them. Once you have the ammo back on execute, it's a super good setup where you have unlimited ammo. I'm gonna have a tough time on this one because I don't have that perk yet. So hordes like this is where it's really useful. Where you're just absolutely surrounded, you can just spray into them. So especially in early levels, one of the biggest problems you're going to deal with is sustaining ammo. So you get that ammo back perk where you kill Majoris, you are not going to be able to keep up ammo very good with this weapon. Chews through it like crazy for the amount of damage you're getting. Alright, so this is where this weapon can absolutely shine. With the penetration, you can thin out big groups.
Artillery in sight. Swapping magazine.
Alright, so that was a really good engagement. Yeah, with this weapon, run up, get those headshots.
Ammunition cache here.
Okay, so that was some operations gameplay, kind of showcase how the weapon works, how to use it, give or take. Let's get into some PvP, show you what it's like in that.
All specs is ready. The price of war.
So the rapid fire rate is very useful for suppressing locations when you want to get the enemy team to move. It makes it appear far more dangerous for them than it actually is, because I can't hit 6 dudes at a time. But I can make it look like I can. You have to get close in order to really utilize that fire rate effectively. For one thing, you definitely want to stay with the push to your team, because you don't have a lot of long range options. good double kill, utilizing the grenade to get a flank off. That fire rate is good if you can close the distance.
What truths need revealing? Seeing
Okay, so that is the auto bolt rifle in Space Marine 2, and some gameplay of operations and PvP. For an operations overall score, I'm gonna give it 5 out of 10. Middle of the road, it's cool, it's nice to get up into the action. I just feel like for what it is and how it functions, there's definitely better options. You know, like the weapon's cool and all, but for how I personally like to play the game, it's not my favorite option. It's okay, and that's why it gets a 5 out of 10. As far as for PvP, it's a little bit better in PvP, just because the engagements are so much more close range, and that fire rate, I think it feels really good in PvP, so I'm actually gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's almost better for that use case of marine on marine fighting versus in operations where you're fighting hordes of enemies. It's just not nearly as good as some of the other options. And yeah, that's the overall review of the auto bolt rifle and my opinion on it. And see you guys next time for another weapons review.